Right, this build today is an absolute banger. You're going to be able to deal some humongous damage and be an absolute tank while you're at it. Get up close. We're going to be featuring Lament, and we're also going to be taking full advantage of Woven Mail to get that 60% damage reduction, so we can put out some serious damage and be safe at the same time. Now with the Lament, it's an absolutely top tier sword. It's solar, it's got anti-barrier on there. You hold to rev it up and you just let rip and do some serious damage with this sword. It's a fan favourite, it's been around for a while and it's still to this day an absolute monster. Revved Consumption is one of the other perks on there. Damaging a combatant heals the wielder. So not only can we put out a serious amount of damage, but we can also heal while we do damage at the same time. So we can heal, and if we take advantage of this hunter helmet here, the Facade, this perk, what it does, it gives you Woven Mail whenever you activate your grapple and increases your flinch resistance while Woven Mail is active. Woven Mail is a 60% damage reduction. This paired with the Lament every time you grapple is just something else. So this is the Lament doing some serious work against anti-barrier champions. The good thing about Lament, it does have the anti-barrier intrinsic perk on there, so obviously it's really good for anti-barriers. Not only that, it's absolutely great against any type of target. Obviously you have to get close because it's a sword. That is where the exotic helmet fits in perfectly, and you'll see my health in this next clip. Just watch that. That is the Revved Consumption. I've got no health and you just get chunks and chunks of health back, so it's super strong. Without having to use the Woven Mail, you can still get chunks of health back. But on top of that, obviously, we've got that exotic helmet to sort of kick in. And every time you use your grapple like so, you're going to see that Woven Mail for 10 seconds. And the way I've got my subclass set up and everything going on, which I'll go through more at the end, you're going to have loads and loads of grapples. Loads of Woven Mail to get that damage reduction. And then obviously, like I said, without banging on about it too much, you're going to get heals. Get up, get close, get that Revved Consumption going. You're nice and safe, you hardly take any damage. It's an absolutely insane build. Like I said, I tried it in 1830s, 1840 stuff, and you are insanely tanky. I've done a few builds in the past with Lament, things like Renewal Grasp, Stasis, but this is just as good as anything. It chews through any sort of shield. And like I said, Renewal Grasps is a good build that I've done in the past, but Woven Mail is 60% and it's a lot easier to proc. All you got to do is activate your grapple. So, here is the aspects. Quickly go over. Ensnaring Slam, activating your air move to consume your class ability energy and dive to the ground, suspending all nearby targets. This is insane. Widow's Silk, you will get an additional grenade charge. Your grapple creates a grapple point, so 2 grapple points is absolutely fantastic with that exotic helmet to get that Woven Mail. I always run Gambler's Dodge to get my melee back. That is really important on this build as well, so we can activate the melee. Thread of Mind, defeating a suspended target grants class ability energy. That works really well for the Ensnaring Slam. Get loads and loads of suspension going on, which is absolutely crazy. Thread of Continuity, suspend, unravel and sever. Effects applied to targets have an increased duration, so it's really good for tanky targets. It just makes that sever, unravel and the suspend last a little bit longer. Thread of Generation, dealing damage, grenade energy. That's obviously going to help for our grapple, getting the Woven Mail going even more. And then Thread of Transmutation, while you have Woven Mail going, Weapon Final Blows, create a tangle. Now the reason why I run this is because there's a couple of perks on the artifact that are really suited for that. Every time you got Woven Mail, all the time, you're going to create tangles. And then I run Threaded Blast to destroy a tangle and untangler. These two combined together do absolute crap ton of extra damage with your Strand tangles. Now I'm quickly going to go over my armor mods. Solar Weapon Surge is a really important one to run. Stacking a couple of these to get extra damage on our Lament for end game stuff, that is absolutely crazy. And then Recuperation. I create loads of orbs on this build, so every time you pick up an orb you're going to replenish your health also. So stacking a couple of Solar Weapon Surges with Recuperation. Obviously we need to create orbs. The way I do that is run Siphon mods, Strand or Void, or Strand and Arc, whichever ones you want, and then I also run a heavy ammo finder. Now these two, I've got a separate video on these at the end of this video as well. Heavy-handed and firepower, these work perfectly together with the grapple. I'll show you more about that at the end of the video. So these create 2 orbs when you pair them together. That with the Siphon mods, you get loads and loads of orbs generated to get that solar surge going all the time. A couple more mods that I like to run to buff the build out. I like to run solar reserves on here. I like to run concussive dampener because you're usually up close and charged up to get the number of armor charges up that little bit more. And I also like to stack 2 time dilations to make it last as long as possible, them armor charges. And I also like to run a bomber mod on there as well to get the extra regeneration for our grapple. So now all ingredients mixed together to make something very, very nice. You've got your concussive dampener, you've got the woven mail going from the Facade exotic helmet, and you're an absolute tank and be able to put out loads of damage. Suspend literally everything in the game with the aspects and fragments we've got set up. Your super is absolutely insane on the hunter, chewing through champions and big majors like the nothing, and again just being really safe with that setup as well. This build and setup is absolutely insane, but that is the end of that video. I've actually got another separate video at the end of this one, so stay tuned for that, and this is all around creating orbs. So I hope you found this particular video helpful. Stay tuned for the next video. What's up, Guardians? In this video today I just want to show you some really easy ways to create plenty of orbs of power so we can get our armor charges. And I'm going to be concentrating on the grapple, which is a grenade, so remember that one. And I'm also going to be concentrating on the melee. So heavy-handed, your powered melee final blows create orbs of power, so that's going to create 1 orb. And I'm also going to be using firepower. Your grenade final blows create an orb of power as also, and these double up because the grapple is a grenade and the melee is obviously the melee, which is what it is, but you'll see there I created 2 orbs because I've grappled, which is counting towards the heavy-handed, the grenade, and then the melee, and that's the melee sort of orb creation as well. So you're getting 2 there just from instantaneously, a really easy thing to do. So just go through it again. Grapple, which is counted as a grenade, and then my melee, and that's 2 orbs. That's just one way of doing it. It's a really fast little sequence that you can do pretty much all the time with some of the cooldowns now we can get with our Strand with the fragments. And now I've got another little way to show you, so just keep an eye on this clip. What you'll see that I'm going to do is shoot my tangle and I'm going to create an orb of power. Shot it and you'll see the orb of power popping up. What I'm doing here basically is abusing the Strand Siphon mod. Rapid Strand final blows create an orb of power. Now normally you'd have to get a couple of kills with your Strand weapon, but if we create a tangle and we run Untangler, destroying a tangle with a Strand weapon suspends targets damaged by the explosion. Now that sometimes kills the enemy, and then if we run Threaded Blast, which is going to enhance the damage and the effects of the tangle when you shoot it. So basically what we're doing is we're going to shoot that tangle and it's going to create orbs, and it's going to think that we're having multiple Strand weapon kills. That's not the case, but it's just sort of like a little workaround. Anyway, that is the video, and you can combine these both together. Like we said, the other clip regarding the melee and the grenade, and then shoot the Strand afterwards, and you're going to create endless amount of orbs. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think. I hope this helps somebody. Have a great day.